Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Video archives. Miracle on the Hudson. Breaking news coverage from 2009. 9 years ago Monday, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 crash landed on the Hudson River with no fatalities, causing it to be dubbed Miracle on the Hudson. Captain Sully Burger tweeted today saying, 9 years ago today, a routine flight turned into a life-changing moment for 155 people. While I reflect today on Flight 1549, I am countlessly inspired by how crew, passengers, rescue, and first responders rose to the occasion to save every life. The courageous captain and his crew piloted the crippled jet and made an unthinkable belly-first landing on the frigid waters of the Hudson on January 15, 2009. All 155 people on board were rescued. And here are some photos of the scene of the landing. And there's a slideshow of the landing and things. Background information. Flight 1549 had just taken off from LaGuardia Airport for Charlotte, North Carolina, when a flock of geese disabled the engines. Circling west and then over the George Washington Bridge, the plane with 150 passengers and 5 crew members glided to a water landing. Those on board then began moving precautiously out onto both wings in what has become an iconic picture. Watching the unbelievable drama unfold, ferry captains from New York waterways then became the first to reach the plane and began rescuing people. Captain Vince Lombardi's boat was the first. And now let's take a look at some breaking news coverage archive from Eyewitness News in New York City.
And a remarkable story unfolding. A U.S. airplane, an A320 Airbus, heading from LaGuardia to Charlotte, taking off about 3:16. got up to just taking off 6 minutes into the flight, about 3,200 feet above the ground. And when something happened, we believe some sort of a flock of birds, perhaps geese, had hit, and you can see just the back wing, the tail wing of that U.S. Airways jet with 146 passengers, 5 crew members on board. We do not know if all the passengers are out yet. We have one report. Source of the FDNY says they believe all the passengers are out. We would hope so. Shannon Sohn has been on top of this in Newscopter 7. Shannon, we understand you have some new information.
Yeah, Bill, we can certainly add some information at this point. The towers are telling us that they do, in fact, believe that everyone got out of this aircraft okay, which is absolutely amazing. But let's give you a little bit of information about what was probably going on inside the fuselage of that aircraft when this all happened. As you mentioned, they took off out of LaGuardia. They were 6 minutes into their flight when they encountered some sort of problem. Initial reports are a bird strike. We, too, here in Newscopter 7 are hearing reports of a flock of seagulls in the area that may have caused this catastrophe. But keep in mind, the pilot was aware of it as well. And so whatever happened, the pilot knew what was going on and he took the proper safety precautions. So what that means for the people inside that aircraft at the time that the bird struck or whatever happened is that they knew.
Okay, that was part one, some of part one breaking news coverage, and I'm going to play you a couple of minutes of part two of their breaking news coverage. And hold on, there's a commercial. Here we go.
We couldn't actually see it, so kind of, if you could describe it for us. How's he look? You know, we've heard his voice, but you know, how's he looking right now? Is he wet? Is he? You know, describe the scene for us if you could.
You know, it's funny is I saw him when he first got off, and I went over to talk to him, and he seemed actually more calm when he just got off the plane. And now I think it seems the reality is sitting in. I saw him actually finally shed the first tears that I've seen him since he's been off that plane. And I think it's just now finally starting to hit him how big this is and how disastrous it could have been. But right now, I think it's just all setting in as he talks about his family. He didn't actually, I didn't see him even start tearing up at all until he started talking about his wife. And he said, I'm not sure if you could hear him. He's 31 years old and he has a child on the way right now. So, I mean, it's...
Okay, that is some of part two of the breaking news coverage video. Now let's watch a couple minutes of the video of Mayor Michael Bloomberg giving update.
Yes.
And hold on, we're just gonna wait for the commercial to end.
Let me tell you what we know happened and what we don't know yet. Obviously, a twin-engine plane went down in the Hudson River, and we have reason to believe that there were 155 people, including crew, roughly, and that we think all got out safely. Now, the reason I'm saying we believe and we think is that some were taken to New Jersey and some were taken...
Okay, and that was some video of the mayor giving an update on the plane crash. And now let's take a look at another video of continued coverage at 7 p.m.
The plane went into the Hudson River. Water temperature is about 42 degrees, about an hour before sunset tonight. 150 passengers, including 1 infant and 5 crew members, were on board. It had just taken off from LaGuardia Airport, headed to Charlotte, when something happened. Perhaps a flock of geese caused engine failure. The pilots managed to avoid the city, get over the river, and then make an emergency landing. They did it without ripping the plane apart, and that is what saved everyone on board.
Tonight we have a team of reporters covering this story. We're going to begin with Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Pegues. He's on the west side. Jeffrey, what an afternoon, what an evening, what a story.
Okay, and there you go. That is some coverage from their 7 p.m. from ABC Eyewitness News in New York City. And that does it for my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all enjoyed this evening news report, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I'll be back tomorrow with more news reports. Good night, everyone. Bye.